Why am I playing small?
Because everyone else is playing small.
Who?
Everybody else.
Did Bucks, when they won the championship,
New York play small?
New York sucks. When the Bucks won the championship, were they small?
Yes, you heard right. Gilbert Arenas nonchalantly on this podcast said that the Knicks suck. So let's talk about it. So welcome to the channel. I am the objective fan straight out of Kings County, New York City's finest. And you know the vibes. And we're here talking about this Gilbert Arenas comment, something that got swept under the rug. But listen, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to address all of the shade, all of the naysay, especially when it's unwarranted. So as you can hear from the clip, they were having a casual conversation about the Celtics, and then somehow the Knicks got joined into play. You know what? I'm going to play some of the video so you can hear it. I'm going to start it from a little further up.
11 assists between that position. But unfortunately, you don't have those type of players in that position. So you have Derek White at the point guard.
So Gilbert Arenas is basically saying why the Celtics are too small.
I mean, I'm because he cut his hair. Cool. But why is he starting if you have the same player in Drew?
Yeah.
Why?
So he's saying, basically, why do they start the two guards? They play similar. It doesn't make sense. They should start Horford, right? That's the gist of what he was saying.
What's the other option?
Yeah, what's the other option?
Peyton Pritchard? A real team? Jaylen Brown or Tatum at the 2. The other one at the 3. Bring in old fella at the 4.
Yep.
Old fella's Horford. So I'm gonna cut in and talk a little bit because I don't want his audio to drown out the channel. But you hear what he's saying thus far. So let's get into it.
They played
Horford at the 4.
They played that lineup.
And Zinga's at the 5. That is your actual team.
Yeah.
And then when I want to come in for Drew.
But if they playing small, it's gonna be Drew, White, Tatum, Brown, and
mind you, I'm a Knicks fan. I don't care about the Celtics. We're gonna cook the Celtics. That's a whole nother video, a whole nother time. Let's listen.
Porzingis.
Why am I playing small?
Because everyone else is playing small.
Who's playing small? Who plays small? Listen.
Everybody else.
Did Bucks, when they won the championship,
New York play small?
New York sucks.
We're gonna pause it right there.
When the Bucks won,
see how they everyone in the background laughing. Because it's funny. New York it's always funny when New York is the butt of the joke, right? Now, before I go in, first of all, I'm not going to litter this video with ad hominem attacks, right? I'm not going to take it there because I like the No Chill Gills podcast. I think they do a great job. I like the panel. I like Kenya Martin on there. I think Kenya Martin is like one of the most level-headed panelists on there. I like his perspective. And so this is no ad hominem attacks, though. They engage in logical fallacies, attacking people based off of lack of certain expertise. So I'm not going there. But this notion that the Celtics are not a good team because they play small and then magically somehow Al Horford, he's the savior. I don't get that. You don't watch enough New York Knicks basketball to talk about the New York Knicks. So to say the Knicks suck as a blanket statement to me is very disrespectful. It's disrespectful, it's comical, it's not true. But Gil, he wants to go there. And then my thing is too, like with all of these former pros and people who know the game of basketball, why didn't they even challenge that thought that the Knicks suck? So let's hold on for a second. I want to continue giving Gil this work, but I got to let you know about the hottest Knick podcast on the net this week inside the NYK, this week inside the New York Knicks. We just did our first live episode on the channel, but guess what? I got an announcement for you. This podcast is actually featured on all streaming platforms. You can check it out now wherever you get your podcast. We cover the Knicks. You give us 50 minutes, I'll give you the Knicks. So check it out exclusively on YouTube and all podcast streaming apps. Now let's go back and give this guy the work. But it's an echo chamber. People laughing in the background. And they got good staff that normally informs them and tries to keep them in line because, when you're talking in real time, it's very easy to make mistakes. But my question is why? The real big lineup, the real team, he said, Al Horford starting at the 4 with the other 4 All-Stars, right? But what he fails to realize, the Knicks start a big lineup. They start Randall at the 4, 2-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA. Mitchell Robinson, the best offensive rebounder in basketball, with RJ, Grimes, and Brunson. RJ has a big body. He's a forward. He gets about 5 rebounds a game. We already know Julius Randle gives you 25 and 10. Mitch has the potential to be a double-double guy, but he gets you around 8, 9 rebounds, around 2 blocks. The Knicks do not have a small lineup. Now, when we talk about size and who plays big and who plays small, let's also note that Randle averages more rebounds than anyone on the Celtics. Instead of keeping the energy on the Celtics, they go to the Knicks, and then the Knicks suck because they play small. That is a non sequitur. It's a logical fallacy. Your argument that precedes your previous statement does not logically follow. If the argument is that the Celtics need to play a big lineup in order to be a good team, Mr. Gilbert Arenas, the Knicks do that. So how do the Knicks suck when you want the Celtics to do what the Knicks already do? Randall's not a shot blocker, but he's a great rebounder.
In the championship, were they small? No.
No.
I think everyone tries
Was
to
the
play
Lakers small? No.
No.
Was Denver small? No. They're beating up on you guys because y'all are small.
You're right.
Miami Heat, you lose 2 times. Why?
So those teams are big, right? He said the Lakers, which are a big team, they play a lot of big guys off the bench. When they won the chip, they had Howard off the bench. They also had McGee. They had size with AD, and I think that's what the Lakers need to do because I don't think AD is the 5. He brought up Milwaukee. He brings up Denver. Yes, but we're gonna get into Denver. But yes, they all start big lineups.
Small.
Playing small ball.
You're playing small ball.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? That's just, it's Suns. You're smaller than them. Like, that's not,
Suns didn't win the championship.
that shit looks cute.
So you think the opportunity for us to go back to traditional ball where we got 2 bigs actually in the game can happen? Where we're affecting the game through offensive rebounding.
The champion,
second chance points.
What I'm saying, the champions have told you.
So, like I said, the Knicks was 3rd in total rebounds last year, one of the better rebounding teams in the league. And it had nothing to do with Obi Toppin, who was traded. Obi Toppin only averaged 2.8 rebounds. So I don't really care about that. But let's listen to some more.
That you're gonna have to, the bigger team always is winning. The lineups that they're putting in are just, like when you talk about Denver's team, right? Murray's what, 6'3"? And then, KCP
Yes, Denver has a very big starting 5.
6'6".
6. Oh, yeah.
And then you got 6'10", 6'10", then Jokic.
Very big starting lineup.
Yep.
What the fuck you think you're gonna do with that lineup? With 6'1", 6'2", 6'5", 6'6", like that? Stop.
And they're switching.
Who has the 6'1", 6'2" starting lineup? The Knicks don't have a 6'1", 6'2" starting lineup. The Knicks have 2 6'6" guys out there. Well, actually, 1 6'6", 1 6'7", and a guard that's like around 6'1". Knicks don't have that lineup, sir.
Yeah.
They're switching everything.
When people say small ball, they're just thinking like positionally.
I'm gonna cut it there. But later on in the clip, he talks about the Warriors, right? He says the Warriors have a deceptively big team, or they're really a big team. They just have big guys who are short, but they play big. Draymond Green on the Warriors at center gives you 0.8 blocks a game. He gives you 7 boards. He talked about Denver Nuggets. Denver Nuggets, Aaron Gordon barely gets a block. And he averages nowhere near 10 rebounds for his career. Randall gives you 25, 10, and 4. Only Jokic, only Giannis, those guys give you those numbers. Doesn't make any sense. If the logic is the reason why the Celtics are not good, then that's the reason why they suck. How do you jump to the Knicks, one, and mischaracterize the Knicks and say that the Knicks play small? The only time the Knicks have a small lineup is off the bench. Yes, they play Josh Hart with RJ off the bench. But according to Gilbert Arenas' own logic, it's not about the height and size, it's about the way you play. Josh Hart averages about 8 rebounds a game. That's more than half of the power forwards and even centers that we just talked about. But he's only 6'4", but he plays like he's 6'9", 6'8". So wouldn't he in turn be a big man? But guess this. He plays with RJ Barrett, who's 6'7", 220 plus. Solid body. So I already did a video, RJ Barrett, his roll off the bench. You can check it out. Most teams play small guys off the bench, including the teams that he mentioned. The Warriors play small off the bench. They got Dario Saric, who's 6'10", who doesn't average nothing in terms of any big man stats. He's a three-point shooter. He's 6'10". They start Looney with Draymond, and they bring Saric off the bench with Kuminga, who's 6'7". Kuminga is not a big guy. So the Warriors are a small team. It's a contradiction. If the Knicks are a small team who sucks, and the Knicks do basically the same thing the Warriors do, Julius Randle averages more rebounds than Draymond. Julius Randle is a power forward. Mitchell Robinson, the best offensive rebounder in basketball, he's the center. So I'm just pointing out the logical fallacies. Now, what I do want to know is, what does Gil mean by sucking? Because it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, we won 47 games last year. Made it to the second round last year. Did it something that Gilbert Arenas has never done in his heyday with the Wizards. Not trying to take a shot. I'm just saying, are you saying that your team sucked too? Because it's not about size. We already cleared that up. It's not about size. Maybe it's because we lost to that YMCA team in Miami. Remember those guys? And Gil, I know you're a Lakers fan, and you got one of those YMCA players on your team who you cheer for, who you big up. How do the Knicks suck? We were third in offensive rating, 7th in point differential, SRS. We were a top offensive rebounding team, the second best offensive rebounding team in basketball, third total rebounds, like I said, and we were 4th lowest in turnovers. And to keep it real, Mr. Gilbert Arenas, we could have won 50 games last year if we wanted to. Didn't make any sense because by the time we got to the 79th game, we already clinched our spot. So why would we go hard to win 50 games just to appeal to you, Mr. Arenas? Mind you, in your Pacific Division last year, none of those teams won 50 games. And the best team was, the Phoenix Suns. But you also had the Sacramento Kings, who I think is the best team this year. Or at least them and the Suns. But you know what it is? I know what it is. It's because the Knicks don't have the big, glossy, shiny names that LeBron James and Anthony Davis. But I just want to know when are the Lakers going to finish and make the playoffs without making the play-in game. That's all I want to know. I know you got the bubble ring. But look, I'm going to end it there. Mr. Arenas, please leave my Knicks alone. You know a whole lot about NBA basketball. And listen, seriously, check out the No Chill Gills show. Great analysis. But when it comes to the Knicks, you don't know the Knicks. And you can't make blanket statements anymore that the Knicks suck. That's all for this video. I'm done. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you hadn't already. Hit that bell icon so you get all the notifications. And like the video, because I'm going to have more sauce like this. Anytime any of these guys come out of line, not going to be disrespectful. I'm just going to challenge the premise because it just doesn't make any sense. That's all. Take care. Good night. And until next time, let's go Knicks!